What is going on, all you Pokemon collectomaniacs out there? This is Ryan, the PikaPikaPaPa, and today we have no graphs, no data, no trends. It's just me sitting in front of the camera talking to you about what I'm going after here in 2024. I'm going to show you the exact items that I'm going to collect, and I'm also going to share with you, kind of my investing philosophy. And my investing philosophy in the Pokemon space is no different than in the stock market or any other investing space that I'm in, to be honest with you. And I've always had this like core and explore philosophy. So I'll talk about the core products today, and by core products I mean these are the ones that either I want to build a position in, or I want to start a position in. Maybe the market has them undervalued at the current point, or maybe I think the window of opportunity to buy them is closing, or maybe it's just a fantastic product at a great price. I have no problem paying a fair price for a great product. That is one of Warren Buffett's investing philosophies: is buy great companies at a fair price, don't buy fair companies at a great price. I have always had that mentality ever since I've started heavily investing in cards 20 years ago. I'm gonna tell you right now, it has always served me well. I've always said, even if it takes me longer to save, even if I have to wait longer because the item or card or sealed product, isn't available, like waiting to make sure that I pull the trigger on quality instead of trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. I'm telling you, it has propelled my collecting and investing side of things in the card space just by magnitudes of 10. It's just is a very, very important thing. And today we're gonna talk through a whole bunch of different philosophies that I have and the items that I'm actually going after. Now remember, I said it's core and explore, right? So the explore side of things is going to be all of the other stuff that I go after this year. I think it's kind of silly. This hobby's so amazing. Like, why would I start off with a list today on January of 2024 and just that be the only thing I plan on collecting for the whole year? That would be boring and I'd miss a lot of opportunities. So I have the core things that I'm going after. And then the explore products are just whatever the market gives me. The market's always going up and down, and some products come in and out of favor. And I always say you want to buy what will go up, not what has gone up. And so I am always looking for underappreciated or undervalued items here in the Pokemon space that I think could give me a great return in the future. Now, as you all know, I am a long-term collector and investor. I have a 3, 5, 10 year and beyond time horizon. So that's really what I'm looking for here in the space. And I'm really excited to share this list with you now. And now I will say this, one of the things that you have to remember when you're going through this is, listen, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. My man Mike Tyson, one of his most famous sayings right there. And what I mean by that in the Pokemon space is, listen, things can change. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what's going to happen in the Pokemon space or in the macroeconomic market over the next 3, 6, 9, heck, 10 months. Who knows what's going to go down? But what I do know is this: the best coaches make adjustments on the fly, make mid-game, half-game, real-time adjustments. And we have to do the same thing in our investing space. So just because this is the list that I have today, if something fundamentally changes, I will not hesitate to make changes in real time in order to make myself, the best quality investments I possibly can. Listen, you work hard for your money, I work hard for my mind, and I always want to make sure that we're spending it in the best way possible. Now, with all of that being said, we're building an amazing community here, so if you like what you see in this video, hit that subscribe button. If you have questions or comments, drop them down below, and if you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up. Those 3 small things go a long way in helping my small channel out, and I really appreciate it. So, now let's get into the first items that are on the list, and if you've been watching this channel at all, this comes as no surprise to you, but I am all in on Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes for the long term. I think these are absolutely fantastic products. I said I come from the sports card space, right? In the sports card space, you have retail products and you have hobby products, right? Retail products are the ones that you can buy at Target and Walmart and Best Buy and any other retail location in the world. But then hobby products were exclusive to card shops, and they were exclusive to, the manufacturers' websites, and they had, better pull rates, and they had, some special inserts that you couldn't find in retail products. And to me, this is Pokemon taking a lesson from the sports card space, and they're doing the exact same thing right now. These Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer boxes, they have those Pokemon Center exclusive stamped promos in there, which are really, really cool. Sure, it comes with a couple extra packs, but in my mind, you're buying more than just the stamped promo. You're buying more than just the extra packs. Like, there is exclusivity to this. All of these are sold out, right? Like, I can't think of any other Scarlet and Violet products that are sold out, but these are, with the exception of Obsidian Flames, right? I know everybody calls it Obsidian Lames, and I know that this has been restocked, and I know that it's on the Pokemon Center website right now, but you know what I did? I bought 2 more the other day because I think that in the long run, listen, in the grand scheme of things, in the long timeline of Pokemon investing, like where we're at right now is but a blip on it. This is a pin drop, in this long line of Pokemon collecting. And yeah, it's in stock, and maybe it'll be in stock for 3 months, 6 months, a year. I don't know, but I think that in 3-5 years, that little freaking fiery friend of ours that's looking out the window with his hands on it and that Pokemon Center stamp at the bottom, I think that card's going to be in high demand. The only way to get it is through these boxes right now, and I feel really good knowing that I added a couple more to my position. So the other thing that I want to say too is we talked about the fact that these have come out and they come out on fire. Like it's almost instantaneous. You pre-order these for MSRP and then the day it drops, sometimes they launch more the day that it drops, but at least up till now, these have been minimally restocked and the prices almost instantaneously spike. Like it's almost an arbitrage event, right? You buy it at one price point and then you can immediately turn it around for the other. Look at Crown Zenith. I mean, for goodness sake, Crown Zenith doesn't even have a stamped promo card in there, right? Like, that's the old school variant, but they've gone through just such small levels of restock. It's super in demand. That's up almost $120. Even the Pokemon 151, Pokemon Center exclusive ETB, like we've seen 3 or 4 different just trickles in of restocks, but it doesn't matter. Like the box is still at almost $100. The Koraidon down there, like we saw a small restock of that. It's just crazy. To me, it's incredibly safe. You know I like safe investments. It has exclusivity. It's got the specialness with those stamped promos. Like this checks all of the boxes for me. So I will tell you this, I have a Poke Closet full of cases of these things. As they continue to come out, I will continue to buy more cases of it. I think it's just about as safe of an investment as you can have right now. With that being said, who knows? Like I said, I don't have a crystal ball. Maybe in the middle of the year, the Pokemon company is just going to go, hey, forget you PikaPikaPapa, and they're going to restock all of them on the Pokemon Center and prices will plummet. I don't know. But up until now, you saw all those sold outs. They sure haven't shown that that is their intent. So I'm very excited about these in the long run. Now, the next thing right here is going to surprise a lot of you. I get questions all the time about talking about Japanese products more on this channel, but it's a big responsibility. Like I think it's a big responsibility for me to share information with you. And I never want to do that until I've put the proper research in on the back end. Like I spend hours and hours doing data dives and research before I ever put anything in front of you. And I really spent all of last year trying to understand the Japanese Pokemon market better. I think I'm finally at the point now where I'm going to start layering some more content. Hopefully that gets some of you excited. I know with our new index fund list, I've added some under there. I've been doing more Japanese content, but I want to add it to my personal collection as well. It'll never be the majority of what I have, but I think it's a good hedge against English cards. And I love everything about the Japanese market, right? It's the origin of Pokemon, came out in 1996 there. Like the culture around Pokemon is absolutely feverish. And as I just said, it's a good hedge against English markets. So this graph right here, this represents the orange line is the average price of English single cards in the Pokemon space. And then the green line is the average sold price for Japanese Pokemon cards, right? And you will see that like pre-pandemic, English was up over Japanese. And then during the height of the pandemic spike, English really took off, but then on the back end, you see that the Japanese cards were up over English. And then if you look to the tail end to the very, very far right, you'll see the Japanese prices have really come down as of late and they're back to flat with English. And I think what's going to happen is we'll see the markets will be cyclical, right? English will be high, Japanese will be low. And I think they'll continue to kind of jockey back and forth over the course of time. But not only that, not only just as a hedge, but as I said, just everything about the Japanese Pokemon market, I want some exposure to it. Like I'd love it if there's a small reprint of 151 and I can get that for a great price point. But if not, again, I'm not going to force myself into it. I'm going to wait for a great product with some great cards in it that I think has some good upside potential. And that's how I'm going to dip my toe in the water. But I guarantee you're going to see more Japanese content from me and you're going to see more of this in my personal collection. Now, the next ones right here, I talk about this a lot. When I talked in the beginning of the video about the window of opportunity closing, this is what I'm talking about specifically. I think the Sword and Shield booster boxes, especially these late era ones, I think are going to do absolutely well in the long run. Now, Evolving Skies has been flat for like the last 5 months, but I think those booster boxes are just going to take off. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I do think that $400 for these booster boxes, again, I think it's a fair price for an absolute phenomenal product. You know how I feel about Chilling Reign, Brilliant Stars, Lost Origin, Fusion Strike. Like the alt arts in there are absolutely crazy, right? Like we've got Gengar, we've got Giratina, we've got Charizard, the Blaziken's Fire, the Moonbreon. All of these cards and all of these sets I think are just going to age really, really well. the fact that we can still get a lot of these in the 120, 130, 140, heck, at this point, I'd even pay $150 for these, I think are absolute fair prices for absolute amazing sets. Now, we might have to wait a couple years for these to realize full potential. I don't want anybody to get anything mistaken. Like, we saw periods of exponential growth here in the last couple years in the Pokemon space. We should not expect that year in and year out, right? Like in the stock market, if your price doubles every 7 years, that's average, right? So here, maybe it takes 7 years for one of these boxes to go from $150 to $300. Do I think it's going to happen sooner than that? Absolutely. But if it does take that long, then guess what? That's the same rate of return I could get in the stock market, except I have a lot more fun here doing it in the Pokemon space. So I think these are great products. I think they're at incredibly fair prices. And as you can see behind me, I already have a lot of them, but I just want to continue to add more and more and more. That way in the future, I can sell some of them, pull some profit. And if I want to reinvest in some new products, or if I want to sell 3 of these to reinvest in some older products that I don't have in my collection, I can do that as well. So anyways, I'm really excited to continue to build these, and I think these are a great opportunity for these Sword and Shield products before the window finally closes on them and prices start to get kind of stupid. Now, the final ones right here, this is really a personal collection thing for me. I do think that there's some great upside potential. I think that these shadowless cards from 1999 are super undervalued and super underappreciated. Like, first edition cards obviously get all the love, which they should. Like, they're way rarer and, you know, they're way more valuable and way more desirable. I get all of that, but I think the fact that you have, you know, shadowless cards here, which when you look at the population report, there's just as many first edition cards graded as there are shadowless cards. Like, that's absolutely amazing to me. So I think shadowless is, you know, the little brother who doesn't get all the love and doesn't get all the attention. But for me, I'm really trying to build a PSA 10 shadowless set. Obviously, I'm never going to get the Charizard in a PSA 10, and there will be some of the cards where I might have to get a 9 or an 8. But for the most part, you can get a lot of these really, really awesome cards at really reasonable prices, right? Like the Squirtle right there. I mean, that's an amazing. This is just the origin set. Like, everything about this is so incredibly cool. What a great thing to hand down, you know, for future generations of Pokemon lovers. You all know my family is all into this, and I dream someday of being able to pass this on to my kids. So awesome cards like the Squirtle in a PSA 10 is going for $200. That Charmander down there is going for $130, and you can probably get them cheaper. These were just quick ones that I pulled up on eBay real quick, and these are buy it now prices. And then, you know, the common cards really are from $35 to $50. Like, again, if you find them at auction, you can get them even cheaper. But you can fill out a big percentage of this set in PSA 10 and not spend a lot of money on it, right? Like, Catch 'em All Collectibles is a great eBay store, and the owner, Dan, he's like absolutely fantastic guy, and I feel like I spend 30% of my YouTube earnings buying PSA 10 shadowless cards from him. So if you're looking for some, check him out on eBay. The guy has an awesome store and he has awesome products at great prices. So with that out of the way, yeah, I mean, this is just something that for me is, again, it's just a personal collection. It's a personal dream of mine to put this together. And it's a multi-year project. There's no way that I'm going to get all of it done in this year or probably even next year. But it's great to have something like this. And, you know, I've got an Excel spreadsheet, and every time I get one, I put an X next to it. And at the bottom, it gives me my percentage completed. So it's fun to have one of these things like this in the collection. And I do think, in all honesty, I think in 10, 15, 20 years, I think the price of this set is going to go absolutely through the roof compared to where it is today. I think it's flying under the radar, and I think there's a lot of upside in it. So, hey, listen, those are the things that I'm going after here in 2024. Again, it's a core and explore. You know that every single month I share with you, you know, the exact products that I'm going after. And yeah, you'll see a lot of these products throughout the course of the year, but you're also going to see a lot of new things. Like, just because this is the current path right now, this is January. We got a whole lot of 2024 left to go. So there will be other opportunities the market presents us. And again, I work hard for my money, so do you. So hopefully we'll be able to jump all over it together. If you made it to the end of the video and you enjoyed this content and you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, why don't you go ahead and do it? We do fun stuff like this all the time. Questions or comments, drop them down below. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up as always. I appreciate you more than I can say. Thank you for watching, and y'all have an epic one, okay? See ya.